everyone, I'm Dallas and welcome to my channel Solid Plans. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely December monthly calendar. So if that's something you're interested, keep on watching. So here we are in Procreate. This little grid pattern I have hand drawn myself. I did copy it from one of the templates, but I kind of tweaked it a little bit to do what I like. And so I like to duplicate it first, so that way I still have the full version, and then I just go through and erase the boxes that I don't need. This way I have the exact right number of boxes for the month. So that is what I'm doing right now. Alright, now that we have the grid part set up for the month, it is time to start adding the best part, the stickers. So I like to pull the Files app up on the right side of the screen. That's just where it's more comfortable for me. I do download the PNG versions of everything, so that way I have them to decorate way easier in Procreate. So this was me just kind of going through and deciding exactly which stickers I wanted. I knew I wanted to use the December freebie as much as possible, but there were no days of the week stickers there. So I instead went to the Christmas Classic and pulled some stickers from there, some days of the week stickers. So here I am dragging them in. Now, once they're in, you want to go to the layers menu, select all of them, so that way you can resize them all to the exact same size. I like to zoom in really close so that way I can really see what I'm doing. I like to try to be as perfect as possible. And so yeah, I zoom in super close so I can see the exact size. And since they're all selected, you can just resize them all at once and line them up properly. And now that they are all the correct size, you can zoom out and start putting them in the correct order. So I like to reorganize them so that way the layers are in the correct order Monday through Sunday. It just makes it a lot easier when you're trying to move them. So then you select them. Make sure the magnetic little button is turned on. That makes it so much easier to keep them in line. And then you just go through one by one and line them all up. I like to make it look like one continuous strip. That's just the style that I prefer. You can do this however you want. Have fun with it. Okay, now that the days of the week are in place, it's time to add numbers. And this is where I definitely wanted to use the December freebie. I think these little silver ornaments are just so adorable. So I go to select all, and then I drag all of them over at once. However, my Files app was acting up. It does do that sometimes. It does not like to drag over. So I just tried it a couple times and there it goes. Yay, it's in. And then there were some blank ones in there, or a blank one in there, so I just went through and deleted the blank one as well as reordered them, because for some reason when I brought them over they were not in number order. So I renumbered them so that way they were in number order, because again, that just makes it easier when I'm trying to line things up. Now that they're in the correct order, it's time to once again select all of them. Unfortunately, in Procreate, you do have to select each individual layer. So make sure you select them, and you select an item by swiping your stylus to the right, and that will select the layer. So you select all of them, and then you can resize them all at once. I got rid of the Files app to the side just because I didn't need it at the moment, and it gave me more screen room. So then you line them up like so. Usually I line them up to the top, as you see what I'm doing there. But with December, I wanted to do a countdown to Christmas, so I changed my mind and decided to move them to the bottom of the box, and there we are. And once I got to the size that I wanted, you can go through and start selecting individual numbers. So here is where I pull up my calendar on my phone. So that way I can see what dates fall on what specific day of the week. And what I like to do is go through and select those numbers. So you can see here I'm selecting 7 because that's the Saturday. And I select all of them. And then I'm going to bring all of those down and line them up. It's hard to explain it while I'm talking, so I'm just going to let you watch the video and see what I mean. Okay, now that we have all of our numbers in place, it's time to add the Christmas countdown. So it's time to pull up the Files app on the side once again. And once again, I'm using the Christmas Classic set. So I just went to the countdown stickers, and did select and select all and drag them all over at once. Files app was giving me issues once again. I don't know why it does that. See, it'll do this and it won't let you pull it over. So in order to fix that, you have to get rid of the Files app. Then you have to double click and completely swipe and get rid of it. And then you can try the Files app again. And usually by the second time it works for me. I don't know why it likes to act up like that sometimes, but it does. So there we go. You see, it worked again. So you import them all and then you delete the extra ones. There were a couple extra ones. And so I got rid of them. And I also got rid of the 25 because I started on December 1st, not November 30th. So yeah, you select all of them so that way you can resize them. And then I did pretty much the exact same thing that I did with the numbers, where I selected which ones go on specific days and put them all in order. So I will let you watch that video. So now that all of those are set in place, what I like to do is go through and condense everything into one layer, or not all of it into one layer, but like I put all the countdown numbers into one layer, and then I went through and put all of the numbers into one layer as well as the days of the week. This just helps to be able to have more layers. There's, as you can see, a lot of layers, and the more layers you have, the more it not only lags, but you also don't get to put as many stickers on. So if there's things that I know are set for sure, like I know I'm not going to change the order of any of them, then I like to go ahead and condense them. And you do condense them by taking two fingers and squeezing together. I don't know if that makes sense without there being a visual. If you need more explanation on that, let me know. I can do a video about it. But that was what I did next. So everything is now condensed. And now to add the fun part. Oh, one more thing I forgot. I went through and found the Christmas Day sticker, and I added the Christmas Day sticker to the 25th, Christmas Day, obviously. So here I am finding the Christmas Day sticker and adding it in. The next step is finding the month. So once again, wanted to use the December freebie just because it has the months and some really pretty colors and fonts. So I opened up the months section and I scrolled through until I found the one that I wanted. I couldn't decide if I wanted the print or the cursive, but I of course ended up going with the cursive because I'm a sucker for a good cursive font. So here I am bringing it in and resizing it. And this one is so pretty with the snowflakes on it. Ugh, I love snowflakes. So yeah, resize in December and making sure that it fits. This could potentially change later, but for now I'm thinking that this is where I want it. So after that, I decided that I wanted to add one more thing to the basis of the calendar. I am going on a study abroad trip later this month. We actually leave the day after Christmas. So I decided to go to the washi folder and pick some washi to kind of go across the days that I'm going to be gone for my study abroad trip. And as you can see, Files was acting up yet again, like it always does, but it's fine, I fixed it. So I decided to go with this really pretty brick washi tape. So I like to line up the washi. Again, I zoom in really close so I can really see what I'm doing. The closer I can zoom in, the better it is for me. And so I went to the freeform tool and resized it to the size that I wanted it. And then I got it real thin. I tried to kind of eyeball the same width that the little countdown headers were, just so everything looked kind of consistent. And then once I have that lined up, I go to my eraser tool and I erase the like jagged end just because I like it to be more straight, and adjust the line. If there is any of these steps in Procreate that you are confused on, that you don't really know about, let me know and I will make a video on it for you, because there are definitely some things that I learned myself or learned through another video that I would be more than happy to teach you how to do those things. So then I just copied the same exact washi and brought it down because I'm also going to be gone into January. So I just wanted to make sure that the last 2 days of December were also covered by the same washi. And then same thing, I just went through and erased the parts I don't need. So now that the washi's down, it's time to add some text. So the first thing I did is make sure I picked a color that I liked. I went ahead and went with a nice green since it is Christmas. So I'm doing the Christmas colors of red and green. And the washi's already red, so I picked a green. And then if you go to the little icon on the top, you can add text. And I scrolled through until I found a text I liked. I think I ended up just going with the one that was already there because I thought it was cool. Then I brought the text down, and then I typed in study abroad just so, I knew what that was for, as if it's not obvious enough. And then after I typed in the words, I made it smaller so that way it actually fit inside of the washi. And once I had that all lined up, I made several copies and kind of put it across the screen, which you'll see here. I didn't intentionally make it the same size as the box, but it ended up the same size as the box. So I just put one on top of each box. Once I had all of those lined up, I decided to go ahead and go through and condense everything, or condense all of those letters so that way they were together and that was less layers that I was working with, so it was easier to work with, just like I did in the previous steps. So there I am squeezing it all together, and now I squeeze the letters together with the washi so they're all one big set, and voila! So now comes the fun part. Now we get to add all the fun stickers. There was this one sticker under the sayings that I knew would go perfect right there on the side. The side is always where I struggle to put things. There just never really seems to be anything that fit, but this cute little So Merry sign fit there so perfectly, almost like it was meant to be and it was made for it. So I obviously had to put that right there, and now I get to go through and find more stickers. There were so many of these sayings that I absolutely loved, but I wanted to find something to go in this little space right there, so I was trying to find what that was. So I finally decided on this check yo elf before you wreck yo elf sticker. I just think it's so funny and so cute, and it fits pretty well in that space. It takes up as much of the space as I wanted it to take up without, going too crazy. I was trying not to make this a lot, which is very easy for me to do. I tend to go really overboard on stickers, so I was trying really hard not to do that. So it's nice and simple, and it fits right there really well. And now I'm gonna go through and just find a few other stickers that I think would look really cool on here. Now, once I had this fireplace in here, I decided that I wanted to add some stockings to it because why not? What's a fireplace without stockings, right? It's Christmas time. So I went through and I found the stockings, which were, down towards the bottom because S is towards the end of the alphabet, fun fact. So I found the stockings that I liked and I selected them and brought them into Procreate. And then just once again, I went through and I figured out what order I wanted them to be in. So I reordered them. And then I selected all of them so I could resize them all at the exact same time. I like to make sure that I'm always on the uniform button so that way they resize in proportion as opposed to unproportioned, if that makes any sense at all. And then when I'm moving things, I like to make sure that the magnetic tool is on. what you'll see in a moment. You'll see the blue magnetic sign. I like to make sure that's on, so just so everything lines up properly. And with the stockings all lined up, it's time to find some more stickers to put everywhere. And then at this point, I thought I was done, but that top corner just was bothering me, and I decided that I really needed to put something there. So I went through a couple of different options of what to put on this top corner here. And voila, there it is, the completed calendar for the month. I really like how it turned out, but because this is a slim, there is also a little space on the side, a desk space for you to decorate. So I decided that I needed to decorate that. And I am technically using the navy slim, but I really wanted to use the berry slim in this instance. So I went to my berry slim picture, if I can decide which one I want to use, because as you can see, I have quite a few options in here. So I clicked on the one I want. As you can see, I already have a bunch of stuff on here. This is from my spot tracker that I did. I have done a lot of different experimentation on Procreate and layering and different things like that. So I decided to pick this one because the Berry Slim is on a separate layer. So that way I could tuck the Christmas tree underneath it, because I decided that I wanted a Christmas tree. But I didn't want the branches of the tree to be on top of the planner. I wanted the branches to be underneath the planner. So I did it this way, so that way I could do that. So once I had the tree in, I actually could not decide on where I wanted to place the tree. And I knew I wanted to put something else there. I decided on this cute little planner girl because I think she's adorable and I love her. So I wanted to place her first, so that way I could center the tree easier and just all around make the positioning of the tree easier. So you can see that's what I did there. And I resized it and positioned it so that way it just looked nicer. Because the thing about Procreate is, yes, you can resize things more than once, but the more you resize things, the more pixelated they get. So I try to leave resizing to only once. So sometimes you'll notice me completely deleting and rebringing something in, and that's because I had decided that I had resized it too much and I didn't want to do that. So once I got to this point, I knew I wanted something else there, but I didn't know what. I knew it was pretty simple, but I kind of wanted to leave it simple, but I thought it was too simple. So yeah, you'll see me just kind of scrolling through and trying to figure out what else to put. So after some playing around, I finally decided that I really liked this Merry and Bright sticker. I feel like it really encapsulates the whole month of December. So that's what I decided to go with. And with that, I decided that I was finished. And there was nothing else I needed to add. So now it's time to export the picture. So to export, you'll just hit the little wrench button in the top left and go to share. And I like to save everything as a PNG. It just makes it easier. Save it to your photos, and then you need to go back to the gallery and make sure to save the December monthly. I like to go to the layers menu and uncheck the background layer, so that way there is no layer, which you can see I forgot to do. Because, see, that's why it's unsuccessful, is I went back to get rid of the background layer, just so that way there is no layer. I just like the way it looks better when I pull it into my planner. So, and now that we have them both saved, it is time to go into GoodNotes. So here's GoodNotes, and I click on my Berry Slim Planner and let it load because it takes forever. Duplicate the first page. I like to duplicate, it just makes my life a whole lot easier. Then I go to my lasso tool and I make sure to copy and paste the numbers that are already there, but it looks like there were numbers behind, so they're doubled. Anyways, I'll come back to that and fix it. But then you just delete the images and things that are already there. As you can see, that was my spot tracker and I had already been spotted, so I had to delete some pictures and some text. And there you can see my beautiful blue slim right behind my berry that was already there. So I'm just getting rid of all the extra things. And then I can start to pull in my berry background. And here, all you need to do is resize the image to match the top. And the links do still work underneath this picture. So you can pull in the picture, you can resize it, you can make it cover the entire screen. I realized that I had forgotten to get rid of the borders on the pictures. I had to go into my photos and edit the border down just to make the image a little bit smaller and easier to work with. So once I'm done with that, then I can go back into GoodNotes. So bring GoodNotes up and not that picture, that picture, there we go, and resize it again. And then once you have it all sized up, then your next step is to line it up. And this part can be a little bit tricky. You just have to have some practice with it and kind of get it right. It just takes some fiddling with. Alright, now that I have that set, I'm going to go back and just copy and paste the text here since the text before had been messed up. So you just use your lasso tool, you just copy, swipe over, and hold your finger down and hit paste. And things don't always line up exactly, but that's okay because you can just use your lasso tool to fix it like I'm doing right here. And once you have that set, it's time to add the calendar. So you pull it in, you center it, and you size it up to size. And once you get it all lined up, there you go. It's completed. So then I like to get rid of the screen and take a screenshot, and you're done. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you were lost on anything or need some clarification on anything, please let me know. I would love to help you figure things out. If you have any suggestions for other videos for me to do, please let me know. I would love to do them. Otherwise, thanks for watching.